Welcome to the Think Generational Wealth Podcast, episode number 43. And I am your host, Amir Estimo. And for today, we have a show topic for you, which is called The Three Levels to Achieve Financial Freedom. And the reason I actually chose this topic for today, as I've been doing some research on what the rich are doing, how are they achieving all this wealth? How are they able to able to be financially free? Sometimes it's good to always see the people that are doing it and then follow them, follow what they're doing. Or you could just see what they're doing, and then you yourself, you just make it a twist for you. You make it fit you. So I was I want to give credit to this article I've been reading, which is called goldenegginvestments.com. And I came across this article and I started to see the differences of financial security versus financial independence versus financial freedom. And then to achieve financial freedom, there is different levels to this before you can get to that point. And financial freedom is subjective to the individual. And if you may have a different definition of financial freedom to what I have. Remember, this show, folks, is this is educational show. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but things that we can that I've seen that I've implemented. And for this being a journey podcast, this gives an opportunity. I can always go back and look and remember this point that I was in my life to where I am now. Now, if you enjoy the content of this show, please subscribe to the podcast. Also, leave a review. Get this information out if you find it of value. I know there's a lot of this information is out there and we can just go find it ourselves, but I always think it's good because I even was having a conversation with my wife and she didn't know there was three levels to financial freedom. So I figured, well, she doesn't know how many other people that don't know either. And it's easy just to be like, all the information is out there, but are you willing to go and educate yourself? Or are you willing to go search for the information? That's why we have stuff like Think Generational Podcast, where we talk about wealth, assets, and prosperity. So if you like the content of the show, please rate and review, subscribe to the podcast. Also, if you stay tuned to the very end of the show, I will be announcing the winner of the giveaway I was doing regarding the last podcast that I had recorded. So if you stay tuned to the end of the show, I will be doing these giveaways periodically every month throughout the podcast. So but I will not announce it. It will just happen. So you have to listen to the podcast and then enter the giveaway. So I will share next time the landing page that you can actually go to. So you can actually there'll be steps to where you can win this giveaway. So now let's get started to the show, folks. Now there's three levels to achieve financial freedom. Number one, there's financial security, there's financial independence, and then there's financial freedom. Now, what's the difference between the three? Well, let's start with which is financial freedom. What I would like for you to do is ask yourself a question today and ask yourself, are you financially secure? That's one. And two, what does financial security mean to you? So remember, this is educational. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money or anything like that. It's all educational purposes. Then you ask yourself, are you financially secure? Do you have financial security? What that means is financial security is when you look at all your expenses, like look at the basic necessities like food, shelter, clothing, and see how much are you spending. See how much money you have throughout your accounts. If you have multiple accounts, you can look at all that, see how much you're spending a month. Now, I've used tools like Mint, which helps a lot with budgeting. Also, too, whoever you bank with, I think Chase, you can set budgets, and then they can be able to, they'll send you notifications when you're actually going over your budget that you have for that month. So you do all these things, like check your spending, look what you have, and you see your current situation, are you financially secure? So now, if you're financially secure, your next step should be moving towards financial independence. Now, the difference of that is financial independence is when you have enough assets, investments to cover your expenses, to cover your lifestyle. So the difference between the two, so you look at financial security, that's more so on your basics. So you're covering your basics to live. Financial independence, you have assets and investments to cover your lifestyle. So your lifestyle can mean you can have car payments, mortgage payments. You can have all these subscriptions. Fun fact, just to let you guys know, did you know the average American now is spending anywhere between $70 to $100 a month on subscriptions? Now we went away from cable, folks, but what we replaced it with all these subscriptions that are out there. You look Paramount, you look at Disney Plus every single year, Netflix. So if you have all these subscriptions, that's all part of your lifestyle. That's all part of your monthly expenses. Now, you have these assets and investments. What could they be? They could be dividend paying stocks, obviously stocks. Then you have real estate investments. If you have a business that has passive income, that covers your lifestyle. So, for example, you have to define your financial independence number. So your financial independence number is defined based off of your what you need to be able to live to you live your lifestyle. So you may like to travel a lot. So you include that into your lifestyle. So your financial independence number could be depending on you. You would have to define what that is to you. That could be like to me if I was to have my financial independence number, it would be let's say $7,000 a month. So basically, I would have to have passive income to cover that $7,000 a month. But to be financially secure, I may only need to live $4,000 a month. That can, I would be financially secure because I would be able to, if I, let's say, I had a job or investments or you're a contractor, all this, you just need to be financially secure. Now, financial independence also is when you have your 3 to 6 months of emergency fund. So if you were to lose your job, or let's say you was having business was slow, that happens, it has peaks and valleys, you have enough money to carry you for the next 3 to 6 months. If you were to no, if I were to tell you now, the average American has less than $1,000 in their emergency fund, you would probably say I was lying, but it's true. The average American don't have enough money to cover to the next day, which is pretty crazy because when you look at all this, what happened with COVID, people are losing their jobs. Like me as a man, for me to come home to my family and be saying I lost my job and I don't know how we're going to make it to the next day, that really hurts. So you want to make sure you have your 3 to 6 months savings. So it depends on who you follow. Everybody has their own strategy. You have people like Dave Ramsey, then you have others, and they'll tell you, Dave Ramsey will tell you pay off debt. Some will tell you while you're paying off debt, save money and put it off to the side. I'm probably a firm believer of the latter, which is while you're paying off debt, you want to put money off to the side. Because what happens is, what if you pay off all this debt? Now you don't have no money. You don't have emergency fund. You're not saving. You're not investing because you want to pay off all debt. Now, to some people that works, some it does not. So you want to make sure you know that this works for you. You want to be able to define. your financial independence number. And then what you do then is you start planning towards that. So that's the one thing you want to do for financial independence. Now, for I probably even suggest even too cryptocurrency. So if you don't know about cryptocurrency, from the basic form of it, it's a peer-to-peer digital currency. So all this is done without a middleman. So cryptocurrency, for example, if I wanted to send money off to a different country like Nigeria, Haiti, some other parts of the world, what happens is that you would have a middleman, which is your bank. So, for example, the bank would have to, or let's say if I was even trying to do it domestically, the bank, let's say it's two banks, Chase or Bank of America. Bank of America, let's say I'm the person sending the money. So what happens is then Bank of America gets that alert. They contact Chase, hey, does this person have this money? Yes. So they let the fund go through. So that's the middleman. But what cryptocurrency does, it eliminates that. That's all peer-to-peer digital currency. So that's the basic form. So if you don't know about cryptocurrency, also, I would recommend following a podcaster by the name of Dr. Hans Boateng. He's the Investor Tutor podcast. He talks a lot about cryptocurrency. So shout out to Dr. Hans. If you like, if you want to, you can follow him on Instagram. Also, he's a good follow. You can learn about cryptocurrency or you can research it yourself. But I think Dr. Hans does a great job of explaining that. So now we get into what is financial freedom. Financial freedom is when you can live your ideal lifestyle, not your current. So the difference between the two, your current lifestyle can mean you need probably you need probably, let's say you need that, what was it earlier, $7,000 a month to live, right? That's your financial independence. But your financial freedom could be you want to give to charity. You want to be able to help causes. You want to be able to have this money. You want to be able to give back and serve the world. Also, you want to not only you just want to be able to give back, you want to make an impact. You want to be able to be debt free so you don't have to worry. So you don't have any debt hovering and you can be able to be a pillar in society. So that's what financial freedom, and when you can do whatever you want at any time you want. I don't know, folks, what you guys think about this, but to me, that's the ideal life I would like to live. I want to be able to live a life where I can just get on a plane and go to a different country and not have to wait and be saying to myself, oh, well, I have to go talk to my manager or I have to request a time off or I have a mortgage or I have car payments. Financial freedom is when you are able to do whatever you want, where money is not a problem. Okay. So this is the ultimate goal that you should be striving for because that will free you up to build wealth. Because you can't build wealth, it'll be tough at the earlier stages, financial security, if you don't have these things already in place. But when you get to that financial freedom, which is the pinnacle of where you want to be, then your whole life can change. And listen, I'm not saying this because I've done it or anything to that necessary. What I'm saying is that I am studying this because my vision stretches to where I want to be financially free. I want to live my ideal lifestyle. So that ideal lifestyle mean you may need $10,000 a month, 11, $15,000. Maybe you live off that seven, but you give the other half away to make an impact, to push humanity, to grow generations after generations after generations. Because once we pass away, and we will happen, We can't take none of this with us. So why not, while we here, the time that we here on this planet, make this impact now? Because it's not every one of us that's going to be able to get to that pinnacle of financial freedom. But the ones that do, we should be able to look down, share that information that the ones behind us, hold them by a hand, uplift them so they can go with you on the journey too, if they choose to. Okay. So hopefully this podcast was of value to you, because I know learning about this was of value to me. So if it is, please rate and review again to the podcast. If you have Apple, go onto that purple app that says podcast on there. Look for Think Generational Wealth, and then you'll find it. Once you do, leave a review. Do like this brother here by the name of John. I think his name was John Randall. John Randall, thank you very much. He replied with the information from the last podcast. I think I went over 12 steps to achieve financial literacy. He he gave the information, he emailed me the information. So John Randall, I will be reaching out to you with your prize. So again, I'll be doing this periodically every month. The goal is to drop a podcast every Wednesday that you can be able to learn from. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Much love. Until next week, what should everybody be doing? Thinking generational wealth.